Hi guys, I thought I'd just do a quick update on Helium. I haven't done one for a few months and I just wanted to talk about the status of the network and what's coming for the future. So the last couple of weeks haven't been the best for the Helium network. They introduced their new light hotspot update and basically it broke the whole network for a good couple of weeks. So that has finally pretty much been ironed out, but there were a good few weeks, as I say, where hotspots, and not just mine, just everyone in the whole world, their hotspots were broken, no one was earning anything, and people were obviously getting quite upset. Now, like I said, they have pretty much fixed it. It's not perfect, and things aren't witnessing as much as they should be at the moment, but they are still trying to work things out. So for the light hotspot part of things, it basically just means that your miner won't have to keep a copy of the blockchain. So you could plug in a miner and it wouldn't need to spend hours and hours or days syncing. It would connect up pretty quickly and you'd be up and running in no time. So those holding the blockchain would just be the main validators, and your hotspot miner would not need to worry about that at all. So overall, it's a good update to introduce, but let's just say it didn't really go to plan. Now, in my YouTube feed this morning, I had a lot of videos talking about people turning off their Helium miners and disconnecting from the network, selling them and getting rid of them, and that Helium's dead. And it all boils down to this graphic on the latest Medium post from Helium here, who is the CEO and founder of Helium itself. And he's talking about Chapter 2 for the Helium network. So the long and the short of it is, they are obviously, as you probably already know, introducing 5G and other things onto the Helium network, which will require a different miner. But the main cause of concern for some people has been, like I say, this graphic here. So basically, a lot of other YouTubers have seen this and gone completely ballistic regarding this part of the graphic here, which is saying that after HIP 51 is introduced, which has already been approved and voted on, then you can see here that the IoT or the LoRa WAN hotspots, which is what 99% of people own currently, are, in inverted commas here, only going to be getting 1.2% of rewards. Now, there's nothing in this graphic that mentions rewards or anything to do with rewards at all. So it's a bit of a strange conclusion to jump to just by looking at the Helium market opportunity. And this is actually just what Helium think is going to be running on their network in the next sort of 5, maybe even 10 years time. Once the network has matured and more devices come on board. And I think, to be honest, it's probably pretty accurate. I mean, if you look at cellular, so mobile phones, 5G, you can't go anywhere nowadays without seeing the word 5G mentioned. At least in 2021, it was just mentioned all the time, everywhere. Every phone's got it. Everyone has to have 5G. It's the next best thing. So saying that 88% or 89% of the Helium network is likely to become cellular, I think is probably correct. And that is, of course, just a estimate. And you've got a VPN here. I'm not quite sure what the VPN system will be, but that's a 7%, so people using VPNs. The Wi-Fi one, again, it's not clear what devices are going to be broadcasting Wi-Fi for people to use. And then we've just got the IoT here, which is 1.2%, which, if you look here, is exactly the same as it is now. So really, rewards aren't going anywhere. They're just going to be exactly the same. And the only thing that really is going to change is how those rewards are distributed to us. Okay, so here are my notes on the takeaways from this article and this HIP 51. And basically, like I say, it's nothing to get too worried about at all. Basically, LoRa WAN miners, which are the standard Helium miners, are going to be earning the IoT coin instead of HNT. So instead of it saying you've earned 1 HNT or 0.5, you'll be earning IoT instead, which can then be converted into HNT and sold on if you so wish. So these newer 5G miners, which Bobcat and other producers are making currently, will start earning the mobile token instead. So again, those can be converted to HNT and sold, just like the IoT coin can. But anyone using any part of the Helium network will still need to purchase data credits, which in turn get converted to HNT and then burnt, which obviously decreases the supply and hopefully keeps the value of HNT as high as possible. So you might be wondering what exactly these data credits are, and if you don't know, then I will show you very quickly. So I've actually got 2 hotspots now. I have got a Bobcat miner and my old Heltec here. So if you have a look at your hotspot, go to activity and just click data here, you can see how many packets your miner has actually transferred. So this is what the Helium network was originally built for, which is the Internet of Things, transferring packets between low-powered devices and giving them a network to work on anywhere that they go. So this is the original reason that the Helium network was built. Now, you can't imagine that they would just stick and stay with the IoT network only, because it wouldn't make business sense really to just stick to one network. If you've got the opportunity to have a 5G network, and a very cheap one, which a lot of people are going to want to use, then it makes sense to branch out into other areas as well. So anyway, you can see here the amount of packets my Heltec has transferred here is very small really. It hasn't really done much at all, which means this is probably the largest one I've seen so far, 8,000 packets. That's still tiny, that's 42 kilobytes of data. So it hasn't really done much. Not that IoT does use a lot of data, which is the good thing about it. But yeah, you can see here, these packets transferred are what you get rewards for. And that is the whole point of the IoT network. Now, currently, we're also obviously getting rewards for the proof of coverage. So as you can see, anything you witness, you do get rewards for. If we go to rewards here, so we can see our mining rewards here for witnessing, and it goes on because of the witnesses. Now the data you get rewarded for as well. It's only a small amount, but you do get rewards for this as well. So as far as standard hotspots are concerned, nothing is really going to change that much apart, like I say, apart from the fact the token is going to be called the IoT token. Now I'm sure a lot of these people wouldn't be screaming and shouting so much if the value of H&T was still quite high. And obviously we've gone down a lot from its glory days last November of around nearly $53 there, and we are down at around $10 at the moment, so it's gone down massively. But I think it's still a profitable system to be in. It's still one of my most profitable crypto purchases, definitely, I'd say. I have been tracking my Helium, and you can see where we had these issues the last few weeks with the data-only hotspot update. But we're now back up. I had only 3 Helium from last week. And yeah, granted, I have got 2 miners now. But let's see. So this miner earned $11. And my new miner, my new Bobcat, earned nearly $19. So for a week's worth of me doing nothing, basically, you can see here that I'm getting, say, $20 a week. Let's just round it up as the week isn't over yet and the network still hasn't stabilized. But let's say $20 a week on the return on investment. So I purchased my Bobcat off eBay for £300, which is $377. So we can see here I should get a break even in about 11 months. I wouldn't say that's completely accurate because it hasn't been on for more than a month yet. So yeah, so we've been less than 2 weeks. Let's do it per 7 days then. So if we're making, let's say, $18.62 every week, and I paid, like I say, £300, which is $377. So let's divide that into 18.62, which is how much I earned in 7 days. So it's going to be 20 weeks basically until I get my return on investment. So it's still a very good crypto project to get into still. I wouldn't believe all these people going crazy about it because it is still profitable. And like I said, it's my most profitable, or one of my most profitable crypto projects that I've invested in. If we have a look at my crypto earnings from May, I didn't actually make a video on this, but I did keep it up to date. So last month, I managed to get a 21% return on my investment. So 21%, which is $80. I mean, that's pretty good going, I'd say. 0.7% daily APR, basically, on my initial $377. Yes, obviously, if the value of H&T was a lot higher, the return on investment would be a lot lower, but I still think it's a very good return, personally, when you compare it to everything else. Now, obviously, we can't just sit around and wait for the IoT market to, explode. That will continue to increase as the time goes on. And I found a good site here, which is showing you the number of connected devices on the IoT network here. And you can see that the demand for these devices, in theory, is only going to increase. So, I mean, what is an Internet of Things device? There's smartphones, smart refrigerators, smartwatches, fire alarms, smart locks, bicycles, all sorts of things. And obviously the IoT system or network is still reasonably young, I'd say, overall. So there's still plenty of time for it to increase as time goes on. So let me know what your thoughts are down below. Have you already turned your hotspot off and running up to go and turn it back on? Or have you understood this the same way that I have and actually realised that actually this is probably a good thing, or the state of Helium in the long run, and actually we're not really going to be affected much at all apart from having to convert IoT into HNT. So yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you again in the next video.